Yeah, this gonna be a very good fight this weekend, man. We gonna see what Daniel Dubois has. He definitely got to show up though. I don't see too much pressure on him, but he definitely got to show up. It's gonna be a good weekend though. I like the build up. I'm not gonna lie though. I don't think I seen paid too much attention to the fight week with Joshua and Dubois. Can't really remember. They didn't say too much during the build up, but Dubois talking a lot more during this build up. I would have took the same approach as last time, but he feels confident. I don't know if he overconfident. I didn't think I would be actually saying that, but I don't know. I don't think it's intimidation he's trying to do with Usyk, but the stare downs and the yelling is kind of, I don't know. I'm not too confident about that because he still has to show up. He's the guy who, I think the pressure is on him more so than Usyk because it feels like he almost has to stop Usyk. I don't have too many people thinking that it's gonna be he'll be outboxing Usyk for 12 rounds. Possible. Not saying it's definitely not possible. There's a lot of things that can go wrong before the end of 12, so it's definitely possible. But I think a lot of pressure on him to get the knockout, and with the location of the fight, yes. Then you fighting at Wembley. It's like I don't know. A lot of things could factor in, but Usyk's confident about this fight though. A lot more relaxed than I thought he would be. Um, Probably actually more relaxed than going into the Fury rematch. Oh, shout out to John, man. I appreciate that, John. Shout out to John, man. Yeah, that's what I try to do, man. Yeah, I appreciate that, John. Yeah, I definitely this weekend is gonna be good, man. I'm not gonna lie to y'all though. The boy is a guy that at this point I don't count him out against Usyk, but he's more of a guy that has to be focused outside of the ring before a fight than Usyk is. That's why I'm even paying it any attention. I wouldn't even care most of the time. But if you see how locked in he was going into that Joshua fight, he knew he was gonna stop Joshua. In this fight, he's confident, but I don't know. It's kind of a different kind of confidence. It's like I know I've been defeated already, but we did have a mishaps. And I will say this: when I rewatched the fight, Usyk got hit on the belt line again, and this was before Dubois got stopped, and he was looking for the referee to assist him. So in this fight, I'm gonna just say this right now: we've seen a lot of guys get hit on the belt line or whatever. We've seen guys get hit with straight low blows. If he pays attention to any of that belt line stuff in this fight, because I don't think his shorts was high. I was ready to say something about it, but I don't think his shorts was high when I go back and look. But if he pays attention to any of that stuff, his credibility gonna go down for me. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, the belt line stuff with him, I don't know. I look back at it, I felt like most guys would have went past that as far as being a low blow and kept boxing. But for him to go down like that, that usually don't happen. We've seen a lot of fights out here. Usually don't see guys go down like that from that shot. Like, let's be real. Yeah, we usually don't see guys go down from that shot, especially the way he did. That's the crazy part. And I'm gonna be honest with you, when he did get hit, when he did get hit, he was like almost standing up straight. I don't know if he was taking in air. It looked like he was breathing in air, and he just got hit in the stomach. Boom. It's like he almost literally stood up straight though. If you go back and look at slow mo, he stood straight up. He kind of like pokes his stomach out a little bit almost, and right before he could react, Dubois hit him. Boom, quick. So yeah, I think that was a real punch. And I tried to go back and look at the fight. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Over the next, what's today is Thursday. Over the next 2 days, I'm gonna try to look over every fight I can. But I could have sworn I seen it wasn't the Breeders' fight. I guess I went back and looked at that, but I forgot what fight it was. Man, he had a similar situation to that. So yeah, his credibility is definitely on the line right now. Even with him being undefeated and everything, because when I go back and look at it, you're taking shots to the hip and you're complaining about a low blow? No. Nah. That made me question that more than the low blow. Him complaining about getting hit on the hip. I think it was I don't know what round it was. I think he got hit on the hip probably the eighth round. Might have been like the eighth or ninth round. He got hit on the hip. And he's looking for the referee to do something. He steps back like if the ball would have just ran at him and threw a punch, people would have said, "Oh man, what is he doing?" So he put himself in a bad position. I want to see him clean that up. So as far as him and Dubois, okay, people said Dubois got stopped or he quit. So going into this fight, he got to change that. I mean, he did all this hard work. What's going on, PD? Yeah, I like what Dubois gonna bring to the table with Usyk because of the style. You know, Dubois' style is a lot close to what guys who give Usyk trouble is. You know what I'm saying? His style is closer to that. The guys who give Usyk trouble, that's what kind of style Dubois has. But I think the biggest difference is actually for Dubois. I think his body has matured a lot more since the Usyk fight. In the Usyk fight, he was 233 the first fight. A lot of people don't know, but he was 233 and he had an injury that same year. No, like 12 months before that. Let me see what Daniel Dubois' injury was. It was a torn something. Okay, so he tore his ACL. All right, where is it at? So he tore his ACL December 3rd of 2022. Then he ended up fighting Usyk, 9 months later. So this the best Dubois you gonna get. And people don't know it. I didn't even want him to be in the ring around that time. He fought Usyk 9 months. See, my criticism was, why are you fighting a guy 9 months after you tore your ACL? It almost was like desperate. Yeah, he been doing well, bro. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree with that. He been doing well. But I think his biggest mistake was taking that fight 9 months after tearing his ACL. Yeah, he had a lot of trouble in that fight. Because if you go back and look, He had a hard time staying up in a fight before that. I don't know where he tore his ACL, but I'm gonna have to go back and look. Um, but you can't really tell he tore anything because. But if you go back and look at the fight with before that, before he fought Usyk, he was getting hit and knocked down, but he kept going down on his own though. He kept going down on his own. It was like people like, what is he doing? Dude had a torn ACL. So I don't even think he was 100% when he fought Usyk. If we want to be real, he was 233. Let me see. Yeah, hold on. Let me go back and see this. Yeah, so he was 233, and that's like the lowest. Let me see something. 233 is the lowest weight he's been at. When he fought Usyk, he was at 233. That was the lowest weight he been at since 2017. Now you ain't gonna hear nobody else talk about this, but all this factor into the fight. I can't see the comments right now on that, so I'm just on this browser. But the lowest weight he had fought, well, but yeah, it was the lowest since he weighed in at 232 in 2017. So I don't know what he did when he tore his ACL, but he wasn't able to work out the same type of way. So he didn't even have the same kind of muscle or weight that he usually had. And then the next fight against Jarrell Miller, he put on 239. Then against Hergovic, 245. Then against Joshua, 248. So if he goes in and weighs close to 248, 250 tomorrow, that's going to be 17 more pounds than he was the first fight. Because like I say, I don't think he was 100%, but that's just because I didn't want him to fight at that time anyways. And when you look back at it, I think he'll make a huge difference. That's because it's kind of hard to judge this fight. I don't know, man. Me saying this right now kind of make me want to pick him. Be honest with y'all. Uh, but yeah, that's the lowest weight he's been at in what? What was the difference? 6 years? That's a huge difference. The year, so 9 months after you get a torn ACL, you fight Usyk. What at your lowest weight since you fought in 2017? Yeah, that wasn't the same guy. That definitely wasn't. I was looking at the fight last night and I was like, man, Dubois looks skinny. I didn't even look at the weight, bro, until just now. I kept saying, I said, this dude looks very skinny in this fight. I know he's still bigger than Usyk, but he's not the same size he was against Joshua. I'm not the smartest guy, but when it comes to weight, bro, I can kind of tell. It don't take that long. But yeah, it's gonna make a difference. I think he's gonna be able to land harder punches, sit on his punches a lot better. Because in the Usyk fight, it was like his legs wasn't there. And I don't know why he went down the way he did, but the way he went down in that fight was the same way he went down when he had the bum knee or the torn ACL. So I don't know. I don't know if that's the same guy that had a torn ACL and was recovering, or was that just him not being able to take the punches? Because I'm seeing the punches that Usyk was throwing. And I'm like, those ain't really punches that get guys up out of there though. Especially a guy like Dubois. Like you would have had to put him to sleep. Like with Joshua, when he was fighting Dubois, you had to put him to sleep that night. No matter what. You can say what you want, but he was like, hey, only way I'm losing is if you basically gonna put me to sleep. And Dubois didn't have that same kind of approach. So, he kind of fought like a guy who was injured, if you want to be real. And I was saying this before the fight, so not really tripping on if people look at it a certain way. Everybody looks at fight a certain way, so it's no different. But I think Daniel Dubois is he's in the right spot right now to catch Usyk though. But it's not gonna be easy. Usyk is a very tough fighter right now. He's fought so many styles. I think that's the biggest problem for Dubois. It's like he's fought so many styles already. He's fought the Dubois style. He's fought basically every other style. So it's really nothing he got to worry about going into this fight. And he just fought Tyson Fury. So last time I checked, people will say that Fury is a more skilled fighter than Dubois. So really, all he would have to worry about is the power. I seen recently though, Usyk. I'll just say this: Usyk gonna be on the bike a little bit. I can guarantee that. If y'all ain't heard nothing from me, he gonna be on the bike a little bit. Usyk is definitely going to be moving. I can't even lie to y'all. He's definitely gonna be moving. Like if you look at Usyk, I think I posted his training video. If you go back and look at it though, his legs look skinnier. Like he's not really. He didn't really put on a lot of weight this fight. I don't think with Dubois he's worried about his weight, and I think that's more confidence than anything. It's like in this fight, he's not even approaching this fight as let me try to beef up. Dubois coming in with the power. So he was 226 against Fury. I don't know how big he'll be against Dubois. The first time he was 221 against Dubois, Joshua. Um, yeah, he was 226 the last fight. That was like more so lower body. I think upper body he was already the same size from the first fight. I think he was more prepared if Fury was trying to lean on him a little bit. So he put some, he strengthened his legs. But in this fight, it looked like he more so focused on uh, just upper body and not legs because I think he's gonna be moving, man. I can kind of tell. He's gonna be still attacking, but I think he's gonna be moving. He's gonna be moving. He's seen something. I seen when Hergovic. I'm gonna tell you guys. If you look at Hergovic versus Dubois, Hergovic, if he would have just moved around instead of sat in the same spot, he would have actually had something going for himself in that fight with Dubois. But for him to just be sitting in one spot the way he was, that's the same way. That's the same mistake Joshua made when that fight started. He was just standing there, and Dubois just ran at him, and he didn't even move. He didn't have a reaction. Like sometimes a lot of these guys just don't move. They don't. That's why with the feet, a lot of people say, "Hey, I don't like guys moving around," because it's hard to hit something that's moving. So yeah, I just think Usyk is gonna be moving a lot more. That's gonna be his best recipe because Dubois is not really accurate with certain punches. And I will say this: He kind of keeps that lead hand out there, just holds it out there sometimes. If a guy's moving around. So with Usyk, he's just gonna be like boom, 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 taking shots. While Dubois has the hand out there. Because I don't think Dubois is gonna be jabbing like that. If Dubois is not gonna be jabbing like that, I think it's gonna be an uphill battle just off of that. I think Dubois has a very good jab. But is he gonna use it against Usyk the way he should? I think he should try to go jab for jab with Usyk. Because it's gonna be some situations where you could probably catch him with something. But I don't think he's gonna try to go jab for jab with Usyk. I don't think so. I think he's gonna try to catch Usyk going in and out. Usyk trying to go out the right side. He gonna try to catch him with a hook. I think he's gonna be more focused on hooks because Usyk is not gonna just stand there. I think one thing he knows going into this fight, I'm not just gonna stand in front of Dubois. I'm gonna move to his weak side and we're gonna figure out the fight from there. He's gonna do some of the same things. He's gonna fight in the inside. I think a lot of things that people didn't look at the last fight was Usyk was fighting a lot in the inside with Dubois. But he was only confident because that right hand, that hook wasn't going straight to the body. When he wasn't seeing that, he was like, okay, I'm good. But when that hook was hitting him in the stomach, he wasn't walking for it. So really, if I was Dubois, I would just do stab to the body with the jab. The same thing that Zepeda was doing with Shakur, just trying to stab to the body. Because that's probably the only thing he did in that fight. Stab the jab to the body, though. That's all he need to do for real. Straight to the stomach. If Usyk's stomach is weak, I want to see Dubois test his body. If they got to take a point, look, the fans, you got a lot of fans that are already on your side as far as this low blows and body stuff. Go to the body, put the pressure on the referee and Usyk. That's what I would do. Straight body punches, first 2 rounds. I'm gonna throw no shots above the neck. First 2 rounds if I was Usyk. If I was Dubois. I mean, that's the only advantage he really got as far as everything going on from the rematch. Being a guy who did, eventually get stopped. So, yeah, go to the body, man. Test this guy's body. I feel like Tyson Fury didn't test his body. I was surprised Tyson Fury did not test Daniel Dubois' body at all in that fight. Not Daniel Dubois, but Usyk. He didn't test Usyk's body at all. He was throwing a couple of shots, but not the same ones I was seeing from the Ngannou fight, where he was, after he got knocked down, he was throwing a lot of shots to the body against Ngannou. Ngannou was getting back then, but it wasn't the same type of approach. I want to see Dubois have more of that approach. Because as far as catching Usyk on the chin, it's possible that he can drop him. Dubois does have power like that. But it's going to be a long shot, to be honest with you. So if I was him, if he going to be moving, go to the body, step to him, make it a different kind of fight. I think when Dubois putting that pressure on him like that and going to the body, Usyk's not going to have anything to respond with. Because all his whole game plan is being right in everybody's airspace. He wants to be right there, no matter what. Because he want to position himself to be in and out, in and out. But yeah, Dubois, he needs to take advantage of that. Because a lot of these guys, they have a very good jab. It's been a few fights like that where guys are. We seen who did that recently? Munguia did that against Canelo. Munguia was jabbing well in the fight, winning rounds. Then he went to throwing too many punches, got caught. Then jumped up, wanted to box, start boxing. It was too late then. Yeah, these guys be waiting too long to use a jab, man. Sometimes, I'm telling you, some of these fighters, they just use a jab to get out of trouble. If they in trouble, they hurt, they out on their feet, they got caught, they don't know where they at. Guess what punch finna come out? That's crazy to me. You'll only use the jab if you hurt or you finna get knocked out. I done seen so many dudes save themselves in the fight. I'm like, ain't use the jab all fight. Now you out on your feet. Now the jab come out. I just don't want to see the bar in a situation like that because, uh, you know, with everything he has as a fighter, top to bottom, even the size advantage, as far as the weight, barely, it's basically the same, but at this point, but the advantage he has, he got to use it. He definitely has to use it. But if he don't go to the body though, they'll be disappointed. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't care what happened this weekend with Daniel Dubois. If this man don't go to the body, I'm gonna be like, man, because from what I seen, Usyk can't really. He worried about the body punches, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. He can't take the body punches. He is in fear of the body punches from Daniel Dubois. If you go back and look at that fight, I want to say the eighth or ninth round, this man was patting his hip, worried about a punch that hit his hip or something like that. And I don't know if the punch was on his hip because his shorts was sliding up and down the whole fight. And before Dubois had landed the punch on his stomach, his shorts slid up. So yeah, that's very questionable. So he got to show up. If he doesn't, it's gonna show that last fight was definitely a fluke. I will say that it won't be looked at it like that right now. People won't look at it like that right now. But later on, if he loses the Dubois and it's like a train wreck almost, people gonna be like, man, that first fight, it might have been too early or something, or the low blow wasn't a low blow. But the only thing I kind of think about in this whole situation is who would Dubois fight if he was to end up winning? I haven't heard any names about who Daniel Dubois could fight if he was to come out of this fight victorious, but we'll have to see, man. It's a good chance he can win this fight. And this is the crazy part too. I want y'all to hear this about the ACL injury. This is crazy. They said this is what McGuigan said when Daniel Dubois tore his ACL December 2022. This was, what was that? 9 months before he fought Usyk. They said, well, it's interesting. Dan has a tear on his ACL, and as soon as we got the news that he had a tear on his ACL, suddenly he was offered to fight with Usyk, which he can't have. He can't box for 6 months now anyway because of the repair time. He got hit on the top of the head the last time, and when he stepped back, he tore his ACL, and his balance was very badly affected. Man, uh, see what I'm saying? This guy was out there fight. He had to knock. So Kevin Lorena's gonna fight Lawrence Okolie Saturday. That's gonna be an underrated fight if everybody want to watch that. But I think it's gonna be the co-main event. I don't want to just throw nothing out there. Pretty sure it's the co-main event. Yeah, it's co-main event. They fight for the WBC silver heavyweight title. Um, Coley and Lorena, that's gonna be a good fight. But Kevin Lorena, a guy who fought Justice Huni, and I think he hurt Justice Huni like at the end of Riyadh season. Might have been the first Riyadh season. If it wasn't the first one, it was the second one. But Kevin Lorena had ended up dropping Dubois 3 times in the first round in 2000 in 2022 when he tore his ACL. So I was thinking back, I'm like, man, why he tore his ACL? I forgot. I mean, why he fell like that, and I forgot he tore his ACL. So I wasn't really thinking about it. I keep forgetting about it. But if you go back and look at that fight, man, I said it earlier, so you already know. If people heard what I said earlier, or y'all can run it back. Well, yeah, that's some good information to have going into this weekend. I'll just say that. That's the X factor going into the fight this weekend for Dubois Usyk. That's definitely the X factor. But I just don't know though. It looks like Dubois is very confident. I mean, if I had all this going on, this probably would be the reason why he's very confident. So he was rehabbing. He was rehabbing and training at the same time. That's crazy. So he was using rehab as training. That's why I said he was. If you look at his weight, man, he was very skinny in that fight compared to what he usually is. It's gonna be a very good fight, though, man. I think that Usyk he gonna have a real challenge. It's gonna be the toughest challenge he have. Um, I guess for the rest of his career, I don't see anybody else at heavyweight really give him a hard time right now. They say Joseph Parker. I mean, he keeps putting his name out there. We'll see what's going on with Joseph Parker, but he's not really somebody that they are pressing for Usyk to fight next though, which doesn't make a lot of sense because the way they say behind the scenes, he deserves a chance. I know he didn't fight Dubois, but I mean he gonna have plenty of chances to fight Dubois. Let's not get it twisted. Joseph Parker, 33 years old. Dane Dubois, 27 years old. I'm not worried about Dane Dubois and Joseph Parker. But if Dane Dubois is able to win this fight, it's probably that's probably the name they'll throw out there. I don't think they'll put Joshua back out there with him. Fury doesn't want to fight him. Yeah, I don't think. Uh, I don't know. Maybe they throw Caviel out there, but him and Parker will be the only people worthy of actually taking that fight. But to be honest with you, yeah, from what I've seen, Fury versus Usyk 3 is more than likely right now. I think the way they've been talking about that fight is definitely gonna happen, especially if he wins. If Usyk loses, man, that's gonna be a bad look. That's gonna be a horrible look. He loses. That's gonna be a horrible look. I mean, he could take a loss in his career, but I'm just saying it'll be bad to get that close, that close and losing the boy. But a lot of people who said that he that wasn't a low blow the last fight, you're gonna end all that talk with this fight coming up right here. And I'm kind of glad because you can put a lot of things to bed with this situation. If this fight wouldn't have happened, They probably be talking about the low blow. And then what's crazy is Usyk was kind of like it was his crowd when he got hit low, and the crowd was kind of looking like they didn't too much believe that the punch was low. I know a lot of people can't see good towards the ring, but the people who could, that kind of let me know more than anything what was going on. But yeah, I think we passed that though. With Dubois, he gotta show up in this one. At least go out swinging. If he gonna make any kind of adjustments, that's cool. But go out swinging a lot more than you did the last fight. Has to be something that's close to what like Conor being and Eubanks. If guys letting their hands go like that, then yeah, the fans gonna respect it. So really, that's what people are looking for more than anything. Because if I go back to the comfy box for the first fight, I haven't looked at it yet. Let me see. I haven't seen the comfy box for this yet. Okay, pull this up. Daniel Dubois has. Let's see. Yeah, he didn't throw that many jabs in this fight with Usyk. Didn't land that many either. Around the seventh round, try to pick it up, but yeah, these stats don't look good when you really look at them. Let me see how I can pull this up. He just got hurt bad and never recovered. First fight, he been doing well since that loss. Yeah. I don't know why I'm just not seeing that on the screen. Y'all see that? So with the Dubois, he was only landing 10% of his jabs. Uh Power punches was low. Only landed. Listen to this now. From what I go back and count myself. I'll rewatch it again just for everybody else, but he only landed 10 body shots. That's not good. I was just talking about that earlier. I know you ain't gonna sit there and throw 100 body shots at somebody, but well, he threw more body shots, but I'm saying he only landed 2 body shots. He needs to pick that up a little bit more. I don't care what the referee says. If he fights Usyk for 12 rounds or even 9 rounds, he needs to throw more than 10 body shots. I mean, land more than 10 body shots. So that's only 1 body shot a round. He letting the man off easy. He's letting the man off easy. I just wanna I just gotta address that. If we gonna talk about these low blows and body shots, he better. I hope he didn't put all the fans through all this trouble just not to throw a body shot the next fight. We gotta really think about that. Is he gonna go out there and just throw one body shot around again? That's what I'm on for real. Like as far as the shot, catching Usyk the last time, very good punch. It was good, but I'm not too confident in one body punch around though. I mean, you trying to hand the man the win, and the crazy part is Usyk landed 10 body shots. Then he jabbed to the body 5 times. Then threw 5 power shots. So he was mixing it up. He really just sitting back there. Yeah, Dubois can't let him off easy like that. I like the power shots that Dubois was landing in the early and middle rounds. But if he mixed that jab in a little bit more, he'll be good, man. But he can't be going 0 for 23 with a jab. That's why I said, bro, when Usyk's moving, that's why Usyk got them legs skinny right now. He finna be dipping and moving. He ain't finna be running, but he gonna be dipping and moving though. Anything to get the win. If necessary, it will happen. But yeah, the boy gotta put that jab on him though. I'm already picturing in my mind. It's gonna be a lot of reaching and it's gonna look like a kid. You know how a grown up try to grab a kid when he's running away or something? It's gonna kind of look like that. That's why he needs to focus on jabbing or just catching him before he get out of the way. Cause I know Usyk gonna be moving. It's gonna be in and out. But yeah, letting Usyk land 30% of his jabs though, like that can't keep happening. That's why I hope Daniel Dubois is a little more mobile in this fight. Cause I'll say this, he tried to go jab for jab with him in the 5th round. He had something going too. Because Usyk, his rate dropped down very low. Usyk went from, so I'm gonna have to go back and look at that 5th round. But that's when Daniel Dubois really stepped to him. So the fight might be like the 5th round. Because he stepped to him the right way. He went jab for jab with him. And then he threw more power shots. He didn't land more, but he almost did. But he threw more power shots. So yeah, he did the right thing. He knew what he had to do. Yeah, and landed more power shots and higher percentage too. So yeah, whatever Dubois did in that 5th round, that's what he needs to do. I think he has a good chance. But more body shots though. More body shots, more jabs. It sounds easy. I mean, it sounds easy when you just say it, but that's what he needs to do. Because Usyk was literally just trying to stay in that pocket in between, a guy's full extension of the right hand, and I don't know. Maybe Dubois can catch him with one of those short shots like he did with Joshua. But you can say Joshua's legs was probably gone by then. But maybe he can catch him with one of those shots. We seen Usyk take a lot of big shots, so it's gonna be pretty hard to drop him. As far as upstairs, now to the body, the boy gotta make that happen. But then we got this Okoli and Lorena fight. I know a lot of people ain't talking about this fight, but it's actually a good fight though. With Lorena, Lorena's a guy who has a lot of knockouts, hurt a lot of people. He's the guy who dropped Dubois 3 times. He hurt Justice Huni at the end of the fight. So he's fighting Lawrence Okolie this weekend, a guy who's came up from cruiserweight, bridgerweight. Now he's fighting a heavyweight. Put on a lot of weight too. He was fighting like 200, now he's like 260. So I don't know what kind of fighter we're really getting. You know, when you have a guy who's has a lot of skills at 200, but then jumps up to 260, you don't know how it's, the power carry or will he fight the same at heavyweight. But I think that Okolie, I actually wanted to go with Lorena just because he got the power and he know how to box. He know how to box and he got power. That's why I want to go with Lorena. But I think Okolie can move a little bit more, and he can punch better on the move. And I think his punch rate is a little higher. And he doesn't engage as much. I mean, not engage. He doesn't hold as much as certain fights make it seem. I felt like in certain fights he was holding, but no, it was sometimes it was the opponent overdoing it. Just certain things you see, it makes it seem like a guy's causing a lot of clinching to go on, but no, sometimes it's veteran tactics where guys are getting exposed and they don't want to get exposed, so they cause a clinch every time a guy gets close. So a lot of times when Okolie's fighting, guys just kind of grab on and hold on and just try to throw inside shots because on the outside they can't really deal with him. So I've seen that a lot. He might not get credit for it. That's why this is a very hard fight to kind of predict because you got a knockout puncher and a guy who makes a lot of his punches look good. Then you have another guy who lands a lot of punches, but they don't look good. You know, as far as judging each fighter, when you judge another fighter compared to Okolie, their punch is always going to look better. But he lands more punches though, and boxes better on the inside. A lot of things I've seen. So this is gonna be a huge factor, but I think he should be able to pull this off. I wasn't going with Lorena though, but if he get hit with a right hand, he's done. I'm telling you, he's gonna be done. This might be fight. This might be a good fight, man. Might be fight of the night. Sometimes we say that, but like with Anthony Yard and Lyndon Arthur, a lot of people know that was a good fight before Eubanks and being fought. It might be a similar situation because Lawrence Okolie, he always gonna let his hands go. Um, and Lorena, he always knocks somebody down every fight. No matter who it is, he always knocks somebody down or hurts them badly. That's why he's a must-see TV. You got to see this guy. He fight out of South Africa. I don't know if everybody know who he is. Call himself the KO Kid, but I think with the punch he got with Dubois, though, that was just on top of the head. But it was still a hard punch, though. But even when I seen that recently, I was like, nah, Dubois is not chinny. But he did make Dubois tear that ACL, though. He's only 6'1", 74-inch arm reach. Only been stopped one time by Dubois. And he was on his feet. He was eating a lot of big shots. Yeah, he's a smaller guy who's came up to heavyweight. So yeah, he's been around Bridgerweight, heavyweight for a while. So yeah, this is gonna be a hard matchup. He gave Dane Dubois some tough rounds. So with Okolie, we're gonna see if he belongs or not. But if this is like a fight where the odds is pretty wide, I don't know. Like if the underdog has a huge number, I don't know what the betting odds are, but if the underdog is who's the underdog in this fight? If Lorena's the underdog, might have to take a look at that. Cause he can stop Okolie. I think if he wanted to, he can actually go out there and stop him. But he gonna have to start from round one though. Let me see. He's a plus 200 underdog. It's a close fight, like I said, plus 200. Lorena is a 550 right now on a knockout. They got Lorena 550 on the knockout. I can see the fight going the distance, me personally. But I don't know, man. Like if anybody can get knocked down in this fight, it could be Okolie. I wouldn't say it's a huge step up, but at heavyweight, it might be the right time. Cause he's only had what, one round at heavyweight. He's only fought one round. So yeah, the advantage is still Lorena in that fight. Yeah, so what? For a knockout, $20 get you 100. Could happen, man. Could possibly get stopped. If the fight go the distance, plus 120. Yeah, they got some good bets on here. So yeah, this will be a good fight. Oh, what's up, Paul? What's going on? He said I'm definitely going with more than 6 rounds. Then the class of Mr. Usyk will win today. Yeah, I got more than 6 rounds in my head. That's a nice bet too. More than 6 rounds right now. I think they have 6 rounds at like uh close to minus 200 or something. So yeah, if you got it going 12 plus 120 is definitely on the table right now. But this gonna be a good matchup. Yeah, I think Okolie a little more solid at 260. At 200, he had the frame, but he still looked like he was a little skinny. You know, like one of those. He looked like a heavyweight that was, skinny as far as his frame. And now he's put on a lot more muscle and a lot more weight. Did it fast too. So that means he was already probably draining himself down to a certain weight. Now he's a lot more comfortable. That can be a huge difference. That's why the version of Okolie we probably been seeing has probably been a watered down, drained down version. I would say that because Billy Smith, he looked like, that's his weight class, 200. That's why he's still at the weight class. But to see Okolie go from 200 to 260 in like a year and a half, yeah, that shows that he's a lot more comfortable where he's at right now. And early on in his career, he was close to what, 200, 210. He was at 210, so yeah, he's probably been wanting to move up to heavyweight for a minute now. So this could be a surprise performance. I see that guys who can box and move, like Huney and Okolie, Lorena has a problem with those guys a lot of times. That's the only reason I'm not too confident. I think he can stop him, because Moreno likes to jab too and move, and he got a lot of tricks up his sleeve. He can box well. That's why this fight can go either way. I think this would be an underrated fight. I think after the weekend, when people are waiting on uh the Dane Dubois Usyk fight that happened, I think they'll be entertained by this matchup. I really do think he'll be entertained. Then we got they also got Daniel Lappin on the undercard. I think he's like a pupil of Usyk, like one of Usyk's fighters, the 6'6" guy at 175. Yeah, he's pretty good too. He's fighting Lewis Edmondson. That's gonna be a good fight, to be honest with you. I really haven't looked at that matchup too much, but I do know these two guys. Lewis Edmondson could be in a situation where I don't know. I seen the last guy fight, the Lamping guy, the Ukrainian. He fought on the Usyk and Fury undercard prelims. He has the braids, the tall Ukrainian guy with the braids. But yeah, he's a problem. I'll say that right now. But Edmondson has never been stopped, so I don't think he's going to be stopped. I think this is actually going to be like the last fight that Lampin had. I think it's going to be a competitive fight. I think he'll go all 10, but Edmondson might have a chance to really do something in this fight, to be honest with you. Yeah, Edmondson, hey, he could have a chance in this fight. At 6'1", that's not very tall, but that's around the same size as the last opponent that Lampin had. That guy's a beast, though. Y'all need to check him out. He's definitely a problem. At 175, if he's able to uh, show up and have a good career, you're gonna see him in a lot of fights. I haven't seen enough from him yet, but I don't know. Right now, it looks like they're trying to make him the next Usyk or something. We'll have to see. It looks that way though. 28 years old. Yeah, it looks that way. I haven't seen any Ukrainian prospects coming out that's being pushed more than this guy. And he's a good boxer too. I'm gonna be honest with you. From what I've seen, yeah, he's actually a good boxer. A lot of these guys are tall now, like at 175, 168. We just seen Shiraz recently. A lot of these guys are like 6'4", 6'6". We got Fedor who's 6'6", fighting this weekend. Um, yeah, a lot of these boxers now are like 6'6", 6'5". These dudes is huge now. And these are the lower weight classes. These guys are taller than heavyweights. Yeah, this is gonna be a good fight card though. And then one thing I wanted to address before I left was the whole Savannah Marshall thing. What's up, J Man? What's going on, dog? Shout out to my dog J Man, man. Savannah Marshall came out here recently. And I'm gonna tell you, I think the interview happened like yesterday or 2 days ago. She came out recently, was talking about Shadasia Green. I think they were the co-main event on the Amanda Serrano card. No, that was the fight before Alicia Bumgarner. Man, Savannah Marshall talking about a couple of days ago. It might have been yesterday. She talking about, oh, the judging in the fight was horrible, and I don't know what they were doing. Bro, if y'all see this lady's eyes, her eyes are still black from Saturday. She has two black eyes right now. She has two black eyes right now talking about, I don't know how they gave me only 2 rounds. I don't know either, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know how you got two black eyes, but you got them. So it is what it is. You definitely lost that fight. I don't know why she talking like she won that fight. She's talking like, well, because they only gave me 2 rounds. We need a rematch. We need to start telling these boxers, just because they messed the score up doesn't mean you didn't lose. You know what I'm saying? That's just like somebody else saying, man, I only got 30 years for robbing the bank. And he got 50. Y'all still robbed the bank. It is what it is. You still robbed the bank. So right now, she trying to figure out how she got these many rounds. And we understand that you wanted to fight Carissa Shields in a rematch. We understand that you thought that because Shadeja Green lost to Cruz and you beat Cruz that you was gonna beat Green easy. But it wasn't easy. You gotta understand sometimes when these girls start getting active, this what these fighters like her don't realize, like Savannah Marshall. This what Savannah Marshall don't realize. These other females in America, especially these black fighters, females fighters like Shadeja Green and everybody else, when they start getting active the way they are now, they start getting better. That's why you're seeing better fights. Some of these girls only fight like once a year. So they fighting 2 or 3 times a year. They like, oh, I'm finna get good now. I'm not going into fights rusty. So you seen one girl who was rusty and another one who wasn't. You can't have two. You can't have two black guys talking about you got robbed. Like, come on now. Like, girl, stop it. You cannot have two black guys talking about you got robbed in the fight. Not the way she got them. And we talking about 2 minute rounds. I will pull the picture up, but it ain't even no use. Y'all see the picture. But she want a rematch. I don't know. They trying to push for it. Maybe it happens. I don't know. But as far as the judging though, man, we understand in fights that does happen, but you getting only 2 rounds, you still lost though. Let's keep it a buck. I think she tried to tiptoe around that, like, nah, you still lost. There's nobody even talking about it. Yeah, man, a lot of these fighters, I'm gonna be real with you. A lot of them, and wait till y'all hear tomorrow about what I heard this morning. Man, y'all ain't gonna believe it. But a lot of these fighters, man, they trying to act like when they have a close fight or they take a loss, they deserve something else. Like Fury right now. Oh, I deserve another fight with Usyk. And I told people recently, man, I don't know why Serrano and Taylor fighting 3 times. Then people said it was horrible. They got to quit making concessions for everybody or accommodations for all these people who coming off of 2 losses. It just, I don't like it, bro, to be honest with you. I thought we already set the standard for people who lose 2 times in a row. I thought the standard was already set. Man, guys is losing twice in a row, then winning one fight, and then back in the title fight again. It's like, man, come on, man. What are they doing? So we know what time it is. Marshall should be happy that she was out 2 years and she came back into a title fight. But when you've been getting everything that you've been receiving without any kind of effort, to be honest with you, That's what happens. You out for 2 years. Women boxing jumping right now. Why was you even over there in MMA so long? You was over there for 2 years. Well, the last 2 years you've been gone. And now you come back and you come straight to a title fight. I don't understand that, man. She got to pull that together ASAP. Talking about it was 3 American judges. Come on, man. 3 American judges? That's crazy to me. Well, I don't know. We can have a fight over there. They had 3 American judges. I'm telling you, they have a huge problem. A lot of these fighters have a huge problem when coming to America and fighting a lot of times. They do not want to make that move. That same fight could have had happened in Saudi Arabia and you would have lost. There'd be a lot of people that keep doing that. Kovalev did that. Acting like he didn't lose to Andre Ward. Yeah, they keep doing that, man. Keep doing it. Bringing up judging in a fight where you got 2 black eyes and the person who fighting you was there the whole time and had no marks or nothing. No injuries. Yeah, she got pulled together though. Savannah Marshall, she took an L on that one. She took 2 L's because no way people want to hear about that effort. You know how many people saw that fight? It was 6 million people saw that fight. And nobody agrees with her. To be honest with you, the holding, they took a point away from Green, and Green only held like 4 times over 3 rounds. So the referee was like, Green can't even hold. The first time Green held twice in 1 round, clinched twice in 1 round. Referee like, well, let's take a point away. And you in a whole nother country now. And they taking a point away from the person who country you're in. So I'm very confused by what she was talking about. But it is what it is. But this weekend, man, like I was saying, going back to the Daniel Dubois Usyk fight, Dubois has to go to the body, man. I don't think that's talked about enough. He cannot just land 10 body punches in this fight. 10 body punches is pretty ridiculous. I would say that. If I watch this fight this weekend and it goes 12 rounds, I want to see like 30 body punches. 30 at least. It's not a high number. It's close to, I think it's still going to be lower than 3 per round. So yeah, you'll only be averaging what? A little under 3? 3 per round? Ain't nothing wrong with that. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. But is he gonna do it though? Because one body punch per round, that's not good. And the jabs is, like I said, if Daniel Dubois can repeat what he did to Usyk in the 5th round, he good. I think he good. Because as I said earlier, Daniel Dubois did have an ACL torn 9 months before he fought Usyk the last time. He fought Usyk at a career low almost, 233. So his weight, we're going to come back tomorrow after having weigh-in, and I'm going to discuss about his weight, how much he actually weighs. Because that's going to be a huge factor in the fight. If he comes in 240-ish, closer to 250, I'll say Usyk probably in trouble. Because when the boy's around 245, 250, he's been looking unbeatable. I think in the past he's got pushed around a lot of times. in fights with like Joe Joyce and just couldn't hold his ground a lot of times. And to be honest with you, I didn't feel like he could hold his ground against Usyk. Even though he's the bigger, stronger guy, I don't think he held his ground in that fight. And I don't think he was 100% in that fight. Like, I think the guy you're going to see Saturday will be a lot better. A lot better. Because we got to think about certain things, man. Like, to be honest with you. Like, in my mind right now, I'm thinking, because I'm hearing that he fought Usyk 9 months after he tore ACL. So I'm thinking in my mind, how much better is he going to be in this fight? And was the guy that everybody seen the last 3 fights, was that the real guy without the injuries? That's kind of where I'm at right now with this. Is the Daniel Dubois we're seeing right now? Is that the guy that's injury free? Because the more I look at certain things, it's like a mystery, but it's really not. He had some bad injuries around the time that he lost. Like within the 12 months that he took those losses before, he had some very bad injuries. I think he had a broken eye or something like that, like eye socket, I want to say. I think he had injuries like that. Broken eye socket, stuff like that. So I think Dave Dubois had a lot of injuries that he had to overcome. Yeah, he had a broken eye socket. Suffered a double fracture. So his eye was broken twice. His eye, his bone around his eye was broken twice. And had nerve damage. Man, almost lost his eye, man. So the times he lost, and I'm not making excuses, this is real facts right now. The times he lost, he had a broken eye where he almost lost his eye. If he would have kept fighting, he would have lost his eye. So him basically what everybody said quitting in that fight. When he quit in that fight, he saved his eye. He almost lost it. So that's one loss. And then against Usyk, I'm telling y'all, I was watching this all last night, and I'm like, I don't understand this. What's going on? Because he kept getting hit against the guy before he fought Usyk, and he kept going down without any kind of hard shots. So the 2 losses he has, the 2 stoppages, one of them he almost lost his eye, and the other one he tore his ACL in December, and he was fighting Usyk in August. So he was out there on a bad knee trying to make it work. It seemed like, or he was still rehabbing. Because if you look at the time frame, the time he spent training for Usyk, that was almost like rehab to the average person. But he turned that into a training camp and then flips around and fights Jarrell Miller and looks like a total different person in December. And he gained weight when he fought Miller. Before that, he was at 240. Then, after he got injured, he couldn't even touch 240. Then he gets back to 245 against Hrgovic. So, yeah, it's a lot of factors. It's a different Daniel Dubois all across the board, all around. He's going to be a totally different fighter in this fight. Totally different fighter. But the thing that Usyk knows is, I think Usyk is more afraid of the body punches and the jab from Dubois. As long as he stays away from that, he's good. Because I'm gonna say this: we know that we know that Daniel Dubois has a lot of power in his hand, but I don't think Usyk is more so worried about catching a power shot than he is a body shot or a jab. If Dane Dubois is landing jabs, that means Usyk is kind of in trouble because I think that Dane Dubois can take Usyk's jab a lot longer than Usyk can take Dane Dubois jab, but he has to land it though. And if you look at the stats, Usyk is more so worried about the jab. He's getting out the way of the jab, but the power shots that Dane Dubois landed, yeah, he'll take those. He's not worried about those, but he's still moving and dodging them. And Dubois not really as accurate as Usyk in a lot of situations. With the power shots, in certain rounds, he was able to hang around, but still, Usyk was a lot more accurate. So I think Dubois got to set up a lot more things better, or has to do more, or he has to do more. I think so because he can keep up pace, but if he make Usyk work hard early, he'll be good. Like how Tyson Fury did the first fight with Usyk, he came out early, first couple of rounds, stepping to him. And I think if Dubois does that still early rounds from Usyk, put him in a situation where he gotta step to you early and use a lot of that energy. Yeah, I'll do everything I need to with in a Usyk fight. If he worried about the leaning, hey, do what you need to. You are the younger guy, so you gotta take what you get. But they say that Usyk threw 53 more jabs than Dubois, landed 39 more. Uh, Usyk didn't allow Dubois to land a single punch in the ninth round. Yeah, but that like I said though, Dubois gotta go to the body, bro. He gotta let this guy know, like, I'm gonna test that body. Even when I seen Tyson Fury, that's why I don't want to see Tyson Fury fight this guy again. It's not any kind of hate or animosity or nothing like that. I just don't want to see this guy not throw a body shot for another 30 rounds. I mean, 30 minutes. Basically 30 rounds. It'll be 30 rounds by then. Another 30 minutes, I don't want to see him throwing any body shots. I don't want to see it. When Tyson Fury didn't do that, I felt like he failed regardless. I felt like he failed and he wasn't going for it. I felt more. Actually, I like Joshua's game plan than Fury's game plan. Really was. Joshua just couldn't get nothing done, but he's a guy who did box late, so that factors into it. But I thought Fury would have had a lot better performance the second fight when you didn't really go to the guy's body that much. But I don't know, man. Usyk got a lot of power. It seems like because guys not really stepping to him a certain way. Even Dubois, he's watching out for certain things. And I don't know if Usyk was really showing all his tools in the fight with Dubois. I will say that. I don't think he showed all the tools that he possesses in that fight. But to be honest with you, I'm not confident in Dubois committing to the jab. Really, I feel like in the Joshua fight, he definitely was locked in behind that concept. But Usyk, he kind of runs guys away from that type of fight. It just happens. Even a guy like Chisora knows that. As many fights he's been in, with the experience he has, he knows that even though Usyk is not a power puncher, a lot of guys shy away from that fight because by the sixth, seventh round, you're gonna be tired. And a lot of those punches not gonna be landing like they was earlier. That's why by the time the 8th round comes around, 7th round, that's why Usyk is always in these guys' face. He'll give away 3 or 4 rounds, but by the 7th, 8th round, he's always gonna be in your face because he knows what time it is. Okay, let me get these last 4 rounds. Yeah, I think Usyk gonna really try to step to Dubois, but he might not throw a lot of punches early though. He might not. He might try to just bait him in, make him feel comfortable, and then start moving. I think Usyk gonna do a lot of moving though. I think he really is. He knows that Dubois is coming in confident, and you gotta realize too, Dubois is gonna be in his country. Usyk can sit on his hands and not do anything. He ain't really gotta see. People think that Usyk fighting in the UK is gonna be a big factor on him, but not really. He ain't really gotta perform for nobody. If nobody's cheering for him, that's good. He ain't gotta have no crowd booing because he ain't doing nothing. He gonna be like, hey, I'm coming over here for the win. So with Dubois, if he's not doing anything, guess what's gonna happen? If 2 or 3 rounds goes by and Usyk is just jabbing, and if it looks like J. Paul versus Chavez, they're gonna start to boo Dubois immediately, like in the 3rd round, loud boos. Because you gotta think about it, the man has already came and beat Joshua and Fury, and he's coming to our country. Nah, we gotta get him up out of here. So yeah, 3rd round, you should be hearing boos if it's not a lot of action going on. By the 3rd round, I guarantee it. That's why I say it's like the boy has some good factors going into this fight, but I think Usyk has a lot of factors too. That's why I said when Dubois was yelling towards the crowd, all that stuff. Like, see, he letting the crowd play into the whole fight now. See, the last time when he fought Joshua, that wasn't a factor. Now he letting that pressure settle in, but I don't think he gets pressure though, to be honest with you. But you never know, man. You never know how you handle pressure until something happens. But I think Usyk feel like he got his number. Because when I seen Joshua going into the fight with I mean not Joshua, but Dubois going into the fight with Joshua. Well, even Joshua. When I seen Joshua going into the fight with Dubois, he had a sense of like, I know this dude's serious. You know what I'm saying? He ain't try to little brother him, like, yeah, this is just a guy I came up with. Or, I know him because he was in the gym, and Joshua at a certain point he treated him like an equal. Like, I know this guy's a factor. Usyk, he respects Dubois, but he don't treat him like an equal though. He really don't. And Dubois notices that. So that's gonna factor into it. But I don't know if Usyk feels like that, man. That's kind of dangerous. I mean, he knows something that will work to his advantage. Or maybe he's seen something in recent fights where he's like, oh, I can take advantage of that. Because I think the only thing I can really think about with Dubois as far as his fights lately is probably like Hrgovic, but Hrgovic was getting smashed in that fight. I knew it was gonna be a stoppage. But Hrgovic was doing little small things where, he was able to land certain things. I don't know what the scores were. The official scores at the end. by the time the knockout happened, but it seemed like it was a closer fight than how the fight ended. That's why I say, man, if you got a guy that can move around with the boy, that's probably the toughest fight he can have. A guy just standing there, yeah, he gonna destroy him. But I think with the Joe Joyce fight, yeah, him just getting his eye socket broken like that, that's what really hurt the fight. And the crazy part is, two judges had the boy up on the scorecards when that happened. A lot of people don't know that. So yeah, he could easily be undefeated right now. Yeah, he could easily be undefeated. I mean, he was winning the fight when the fight got stopped against Joe Joyce. So yeah, man, this dude's like he's really an elite fighter. I don't think he's a gimmick. I don't think he's gotten lucky. What's going on, Adam? Shout out to Adam, man. What's up, dog? Was out here reading the comments. The boy gonna have to knock him out, but he's very capable. Yeah, he is. The boy might be struggling with the pressure, but I think he's our new man after the last Usyk fight. Me too. Yeah, yeah. The boy still gonna be the guy. I think no matter what happened, the boy still gonna be the man. But um, like I was saying earlier, Adam, because a lot of people feel like that the Joseph Parker and the boy fight needs to happen, and but that'll eventually happen. Both of those guys are still young, so that fight will still happen. But yeah, the boy is gonna be the guy. If he ends up beating Usyk, it's gonna be a huge statement. But I did say that Usyk was worried about the body shots. Like the boy has to make sure that he focus on the body shots with Usyk. He has to. And I like Usyk, but I would love to see him go out there and take 30 body shots. With the boy only having 10 this last fight, he definitely let him off the hook. He definitely let him off the hook. You can't do that. You definitely can't do it. And that's really, I'll say, the only difference between him and Usyk right now is Usyk is jabbing more and landing more body shots. Well, he's not landing more body shots. I'll take that back. He's more accurate with his body shots and more, I would say, he's mixing it up well, like 5 jabs, 5 hooks to the body. So he's mixing it up a lot better than Dubois. But yeah, that injury and everything else, I think it did play a factor. And this time around should be a lot different. That weigh-in is gonna tell a lot though. Once the weigh-ins get here, I don't know when the weigh-in is. When is that? Tomorrow? And they got different time zones now. Guys are fighting in Saudi. They can have a weigh-in at 11 at night. I think Pacquiao had a media workout like 11 at night. What was it, yesterday? 2 nights ago? So yeah, all these fights aren't being put out the same way. Got to keep up with all this stuff. That's why sometimes I post it on the community page. I'll post a lot of the media workouts or any kind of prelims that's on. A lot of times this stuff just pop up. I didn't even see the fights they had on the media workout last week with Amanda Serrano and Taylor. I couldn't even find it. But yeah, the heavyweight division is definitely in good hands with a fight like this, man. I think Dubois fighting, and then we're gonna learn about Dubois in rematches. But Dubois fighting Usyk again, it's still a good thing for him because he's still gonna get better. He got better last time, and he's gonna get better this time. So win or lose, I think Dubois is still gonna be a dangerous guy in the heavyweight division. And if guys don't want to fight him after this fight, Daniel Dubois, and they're not in line for a Usyk fight, that means, they're giving this fight a reason to not fight him. That's why sometimes I don't like when guys like Dubois would step up multiple times for a tough fight in this situation. I know a lot of people would probably fight Dubois. I mean, not Dubois, but Usyk if they had the belt. But it just seems like sometimes he's been putting in certain situations where they want to see him lose. Because they say now his resume is good. He has one of the toughest resumes, but you got to win for the resume to be impressive. So that's the only reason I kind of want to see him win, because it's like he's always in a situation where he got to defend himself or save his career from being, you know, put in a bad situation. Because if he would have lost to Jarrell Miller, that would have been a very bad loss. Hergovic, that would have been a little setback. Joshua it would have been a setback, because then Joshua would have fought Fury or something for a belt, or whatever would have happened as far as that situation. But if Joshua would have won, we would have had a different fight going on right now. So the boy has a lot of pressure on him, and maybe Usyk's team is smart by saying, "Hey, let's just have the fight over there in Dubois," because a lot of people don't know what's the reason for them to have the fight in Manchester, but they having the fight over there to put that pressure on Dubois. Last time they didn't fight over there. The last time they fought in Poland. That's where they fought. This time they fighting in Wembley. Now we know that Dubois looked good the last time he fought in Wembley, but they're making him fight over there because they want to put that pressure on him. I know Usyk was like, "Sure, let him fight over there." Yeah, some guys look at certain things different. People like, "Man, I want the crowd cheering for me. Or I want this or that." But sometimes when you have your own crowd turn on you during the fight, that could be worse than having no crowd. So yeah, I think in this fight, it's a guarantee that Dubois is gonna have pressure put on him to either get things going early or to prove to the crowd and everybody that he's trying to go for a knockout. Because that's the goal right now. If he's not trying to if he goes through this fight and doesn't try to go for a knockout, it almost has to be obvious at this point. If he doesn't go for a knockout in this fight, because it's not going to be calculated from what I'm seeing. Not saying that he's just going out there fighting like a caveman. I'm just saying it's not going to be as calculated as we would think, because there hasn't been the success that he's really gotten in fights. He usually goes out there and just switches up a whole game plan and surprises people. That's usually what happens. That's how he got Usyk on the ground with that body punch. I know a lot of people probably thought, oh, he just out there punching, but he caught Usyk with the perfect punch, and he could throw that same punch in this fight. But if he does it, then we'll know what it is. But yeah, they put him in a position where it could be a lot of, oh man, I knew he was gonna do this. Oh, he didn't even do that. It's a waste of time for him to fight that guy. So yeah, it's a lot of pressure being put on him. Because I think going into the fight with Joshua, I don't think the boy had pressure on him to win that fight. I think a lot of people thought he was gonna lose that fight. So he didn't have pressure going into this fight. Can we say this is the first time that Dubois actually had pressure? Any kind of pressure. I think I can honestly say this is the first time he probably had any kind of pressure or real expectations of defeating one of the greatest fighters of this generation. So yeah, some huge expectations for him to show up right now. Oh yeah, we was talking about that earlier, Adam. What Adam was talking about too with that referee. Yeah, I was talking about that earlier, man. Um, I thought he did give up after that, but I ain't gonna lie, I was obviously wrong about that. You could say Dubois kind of gave up in that fight, but I actually was wrong about that. I think it was more so, and this is not me giving excuses. This is real talk. You can look it up. I think him being injured was the biggest factor because I didn't even want him to fight Usyk. I don't know. People might not know that, but probably the only guy who said something like that. But um, I didn't want him to fight Usyk that first time. Yeah, it just didn't make a lot of sense. You fighting the best heavyweight in the world after you had a leg injury? Yeah, I couldn't understand it. That's why I'm glad he getting his chance now because he got kind of lucky actually getting the opportunity a second time. But that's what happened when you get that belt though. He went and got that belt, put himself in position. I think Dubois really believes though. I think he's gonna give himself a chance. I think he has a very good chance of winning this fight. Um, we're gonna find out how smart he is as a boxer. We're gonna figure out how much heart Usyk actually has. Um, I'm gonna come back on later on and talk about the Tim Tszyu and Manny Pacquiao fight. I was just gonna be on her for a little bit, but I'm gonna come back on later on and talk about that fight card. I'm probably just gonna look at a couple more fights. But yeah, this weekend it's gonna be a lot of big fights coming on, man. A lot of big fights. I think people are sleeping on these cards. It's gonna be the best weekend we've had all summer. I don't even think it's gonna be close. I think it's gonna be the best weekend we're gonna have. Because with Dubois Usyk, that fight alone is gonna take over the news. But then when you have Manny Pacquiao, you got Bam Rodriguez, who I think I'm gonna talk about tomorrow. I'm talking about him tomorrow. But yeah, I'm gonna talk about Manny Pacquiao and Fundora and all those guys later on. I was supposed to talk about this days ago, but Things come up. It happens. But yeah, I'm good now though. Not as busy as I was. But yeah, it's a lot of big fights coming on this weekend, man. A lot of these fights that's not being talked about or looked at right now, I think it's gonna be a couple of guys that'll make a name for themselves. It's a lot of people that can get upsets. It's a lot of fights on the PBC card with Barrios them. That's basically a lot of guys can get upset on that card. A lot of guys can get upset. We got so many fights coming on this weekend. Uh, we got guys like Ramos fighting this weekend. Yeah, they got a lot of fights coming on this weekend. Yeah, I didn't even know he was fighting this weekend. Let me see this. I just seen his name. Oh, so Abel Ramos fighting this weekend against he fighting Jose Sanchez. And bro, they got this dude listed for 2 fights. Yeah, so he's gonna be on the Pacquiao card. They got a lot of fighters on that card. Yeah, they're gonna have Tank, the guy who look like Tank on that card. Joseph Brown, Omar Salcedo, yeah, Abel Ramos who just fought Barrios. Gary Russell Jr. gonna be on there. Mark Messial, David Picasso, who's supposed to fight Inouye in December. Figueroa, who just fought Stephen Fulton, Isak Cruz. Yeah, it's a lot of guys. Fedora Zoo. It's gonna be a lot of names this weekend. I'm telling you, I'm gonna watch boxing all Saturday. All day Saturday, I'm gonna just watch boxing. I know they got and they got some good UFC coming on this weekend. But I'm gonna check that out too. Yeah, it's gonna be some good fights coming on this weekend, man. If you like boxing, you do not want to miss any of these fights. Even the prelim fights are gonna be good. Yeah, PBC putting on a deep card with this Manny Pacquiao fight. Bro, this card is stacked. That card is stacked. I think the Bam Rodriguez card is decent too though. They got Pacheco on there. Hey, let's see who else they got on here. Oh yeah, they got Emma Williams. Oh, Nizat Dev on there. Omar Jones. Yeah. Eddie Hearn got the prospects on there. He been having on the last couple of cards. So yeah, that should be a good fight card, man. Yeah, I'm watching all those with Kafu. Yeah, that should be good. Yeah, that should be a good fight, man. I want to see what Dubois does, man. But right now, if I change my pick, I'm gonna come back on tomorrow and let y'all know. But I'll be on later on talking about this Pacquiao card. Right now, I'm favoring Usyk, but I don't know, man. I might switch like I did last time with Joshua. I might switch to the water last minute because he was very small against Usyk that first fight. If y'all haven't seen the weight difference between Dubois his other fights and the Usyk fight, I want y'all to go check that out. But I appreciate everybody for coming through though, man. Shout out to Adam, J Man, everybody who came through. PD, John, appreciate everybody for coming through, man. I'll be back on later on.